faithfully convey value. Interpret global great books. Hi, this is Sally's Book Talk. Today we'll explore the book, Intimate Relationships, with the subtitle, A Bridge to the Soul. Author Christopher Meng believes your intimate partner helps you recognize yourself, heal your wounds, and rediscover your true self. Therefore, intimate relationships serve as bridges to our souls. Christopher Meng, an international speaker and life coach, has guided countless people through relationship disillusionment to find peaceful love with this book. The book is adopted as required material in many relationship workshops. Renowned writer Zhang Defen states, "Anyone interested in relationships shouldn't miss this. Love often brings anticipation and joy, but also disappointment and frustration. We crave closeness, yet fear vulnerability.
When issues arise, many blame their partners. They don't understand me, know my needs, or truly love me."
Christopher Meng notes our focus inward. Meng suggests the root of relationship. Disappointment lies not with partners, but in our past experiences. From childhood, we seek belonging and need to feel important. Everyone wants parental love and to be significant in their parents' lives.
Unmet needs create frustration and pain. These buried needs and pains resurface in relationships as we grow older. They manifest through partner disappointment, arguments, cold wars, even breakups.
Meng categorizes relationships into 4 phases: honeymoon, disillusionment, introspection, and revelation. Now let's explore these 4 phases together. How do childhood wounds affect our relationships? What hidden traps exist in relationship phases? And what should we do about it? First, let's examine the halo phase. The lunar halo refers to the luminous ring around the moon. The author uses this metaphor to represent dazzling but illusory brilliance that obscures true perception. During the halo phase, new lovers see each other through rose-colored glasses, drawn like moths to flame. This blindness prevents us from seeing our partner's true self. Our childhood needs for belonging make us project ideal partner fantasies onto lovers. If asked why we choose partners, answers vary. People give diverse responses. We had chemistry. He's kind. She's trustworthy, etc. But the true motivation is fulfilling emotional needs from childhood. This connects to our childhood quest for belonging and significance. As children, we believed being special guaranteed parental love. We thought becoming indispensable would secure our importance. As adults, we seek someone who can't live without me. Someone who sees me as uniquely irreplaceable, flaws and all. We imagine partners who'd prioritize us above all else.
But such ideal partners don't exist. When reality emerges, we try molding partners into our fantasy.
We explicitly or implicitly communicate expectations.
Like the common ultimatum, if you loved me, you'd accept me completely. Or expressing hurt through coldness and harsh words.
We always assume our ideal partner should understand and comply with all our wishes. Yet in relationships, we overestimate partners' ability to satisfy and please us.
When expectations go unmet, we grow resentful and disillusioned with love. Many believe partners could fulfill our needs, but withhold due to selfishness, a torturous mindset.
This fuels controlling behaviors, leading to the second phase, disillusionment.
Disillusionment begins when feeling betrayed angry, or convinced you chose wrong.
What shatters isn't love, but your illusions about love. Crucially, disillusionment reactivates childhood wounds. As mentioned, children need confirmation of parental love. Parents need to feel significant.
Unmet needs create pain, prompting retaliatory behaviors,
like acting out for attention or rebelling to assert power. The author terms these socially defiant acts deviation behaviors, recurring during disillusionment.
When relationship dissatisfaction arises, childhood frustrations resurface.
We replay deviation behaviors to avoid confronting shattered romantic ideals.
Thus begin the arguments and power struggles with partners.
4. Deviation behaviors demand vigilance during disillusionment, attention-seeking, power struggles, retaliation, self-abandonment. Let's examine them sequentially. First, when fearing insignificance, we seek attention. How do we seek attention? Some manipulate through feigned charm, kindness, or pretended patience.
But no act remains undetected. Partners eventually see through these tactics. At this point, we become more frustrated, leading to the second deviation behavior, power struggle.
Power struggle is the primary deviation behavior during the disillusionment phase.
When past traumas resurface in relationships, once attractive traits become intolerable,
many resort to force or intimidation to change partners' habits, sparking power struggles. Both parties vie for control through arguments, violence, or other power tactics.
Methods include silent treatment, sarcasm, or passive-aggressive behaviors. Partners now view each other as adversaries, the antithesis of love.
The third, deviation behavior. Retaliation. When feeling betrayed, power struggles escalate into mutual retaliation.
Both intentionally hurt each other to numb their own pain.
Retaliation harms both parties equally like a double-edged sword.
When efforts feel futile, people believe partners can never satisfy them. To avoid heartbreak, they emotionally distance themselves.
This marks the fourth deviation behavior in disillusionment.
Self-abandonment. The relationship's most dangerous phase.
Why do we turn partners into enemies? This roots back to our childhood wounds.
Minor issues trigger disproportionate arguments during otherwise loving moments. These conflicts often occur amidst deep affection.
Love makes our subconscious believe we can heal old wounds through relationships.
Yet we prefer arguments over confronting pain. It's easier. Children feeling unloved develop negative perspectives on life.
Over time, these thoughts solidify into limiting beliefs.
If dad breaks promises, you might conclude, father doesn't love me, then no one loves me.
These ideas take root as core beliefs persisting through adulthood. Though circumstances change, these beliefs restrict personal growth as limiting convictions.
The author's childhood experience. Losing a dog leash led to paternal abuse, forming father doesn't love me belief. This expanded to authority figures dislike me, affecting his career and relationships.
Note: the book focuses on parental origin, limiting beliefs. But limiting beliefs can originate from various life experiences beyond childhood. Beliefs. To summarize, disillusionment phase issues stem from our own past, not partners. Past experiences leave wounds, creating restrictive beliefs. These negative patterns surface in relationships, triggering power struggles. The solution. We must take personal responsibility, which begins with avoid false cause-effect assumptions. Relationships activate old wounds, making us
mistakenly blame partners for our pain.
This false causality makes us see partners as culprits. We think compromise would solve everything, but concessions don't address root self issues.
Even with partners' jambu, dissatisfaction persists as core issues remain.
At this stage, we express anger through various means. Methods include criticism, verbal abuse, physical aggression, or silent treatment.
When partners get angry, you adopt an indifferent demeanor. Some feign victimhood to induce guilt without direct accusations. This dynamic appears frequently in daily life. Example: partner forgets your birthday, apologizes, and offers compensation. You dismissively say, "It's fine," to amplify their guilt.
These anger expressions reinforce self-righteousness and manipulation through guilt. As the saying goes, pride precedes destruction.
Reaching the stage marks the relationship's most difficult phase.
Recognizing anger as deflection from past pain requires avoiding false blame. How to confront the pain directly? The author advocates cultivating loving intention. What defines loving intention? Even in conflict, the underlying desire for resolution demonstrates love's presence. Love enables impulse control and transforms blame into understanding. This process facilitates personal growth. Case study: Mary and John's electricity bill conflict. Mary complained about financial stress. John proposed overtime work.
His solution sparked new arguments about family time. John escaped through shopping, while Mary's anger intensified.
Both missed that the bill merely triggered Mary's core wound.
Her deep-seated belief of "I'm fundamentally inadequate." John's avoidance stems from similar trauma. His ingrained belief of "I'm incompetent."
Through communication, they recognize their emotions. Originate from childhood worthlessness beliefs. Understanding the core issue enables mutual empathy and stops blame shifting. Love facilitates calm communication, requiring mindful approaches. Key questions: what do I need? Any misunderstandings? What feelings underlie my emotions? How to respond with love. Regular such dialogues foster true understanding between partners. Through disillusionment, we learn relationship issues stem from past traumas.
Fights and estrangements arise from misattributing problems to partners.
Escaping disillusionment requires self-accountability regarding historical wounds. How to fully resolve trauma and take responsibility? The answer lies in introspection. Thus we enter the third phase. Introspection. Introspection involves monitoring thoughts, feelings to achieve self-awareness.
After disillusionment, many feel an insurmountable barrier in relationships. Some regret marriage, I never loved them, just settled. They married too young or due to parental pressure.
Others stay but feel dissatisfied.
We've grown apart. No shared activities, just coexisting. Accompanied by emotional numbness, boredom, and loss of interest. Particular disinterest towards partners emerges during this phase. In conclusion, this obstacle seems insurmountable.
Fortunately, we now recognize childhood wounds' impact on relationships. While disillusionment reveals I have issues, introspection identifies specific problems and their current effects. Crucially, we must first recognize the victim prison. The victim prison refers to habitual self-victimization mindset in conflicts.
When feeling fearful, inferior, or constantly complaining, you're in victim mode.
As mentioned, responsibility requires avoiding false cause-effect assumptions.
Victim mentality fuels false causality, blaming others for our pain. We remain trapped unaware due to psychological traps in the victim prison.
Breaking these traps is key to liberation. Let's examine 4 common psychological traps. First, trap, being torn between options, a common dilemma. Example, pursuing art vs stable
Office job brings security but no joy entre nature. Risks failure.
Stay in unhappy marriage, or pursue fulfilling affair. Fear blocks decision-making, worrying about potential losses.
This now in perception reinforces victim mentality.
The author suggests simple solutions, whether choosing stability or passion. Clarify 2 desires. Choose either option or reject both. The second trap, blind family loyalty, akin to obsessive phantom devotion. Blind loyalty simply means replicating childhood family behaviors. To gain family acceptance, we rigidly follow ancestral traditions and problem-solving patterns. How to detect blind loyalty? If lacking creativity, suppressing talents, or never questioning methods, examine family loyalty influences. Family approaches may be fundamentally unsuitable for us. This realization helps modify habits, like replacing familial silent treatment with ira, constructive communication, instead of sulking with spouses. Third trap, self-sacrifice.
Childhood guilt makes us believe family unhappiness is our fault. We assume responsibility for relationship success through constant self-denial.
Identify sacrifice through emotional responses. Yes, feels heavy. No triggers guilt.
If requests make you guilty when refusing, but joyless when complying, you're sacrificing.
This requires examining how sacrifice poisons relationships.
Sacrifice creates forced obligation, resentment towards partners. Statements like, "I wasted my best years on you," reveal sacrificial collapse.
Sacrifice often breeds compensatory indulgence. Escaping sacrifice patterns leads to extreme opposite behaviors.
Sacrifice mentality frames partners as exploitative abusers. You'll blame their perceived failures for your self-denial. Resentment grows. If they cleaned up, I wouldn't have to. If they didn't nag, why endure the noise?
Sacrificers inevitably attract, enable, indulgers. Sacrifice and indulgence are two sides of the same coin.
Avoiding self-accountability leads to blaming partners. You made me do this.
Introspection reveals sacrifices are voluntary choices not forced by partners. The solution: take full responsibility for your choices. Genuine giving feels energizing, not draining or resentful. Sacrifice is a mindset, not an action. Understanding self-imposed victimhood allows conscious giving patterns. Fourth trap: enmeshment, often driving self-sacrifice.
We modify ourselves to avoid abandonment by significant others.
Example: changing introverted nature to gain popularity.
Seeking paternal pride to self-alteration. This pattern originates from parent-child relationships,
Later transferred to other intimate relationships. Fueled by deep guilt, feeling unworthy of love drives compensatory self-notification.
Breaking enmeshment requires authentic self-expression. The victim prison contains numerous other traps. Projection. We externalize internal narratives onto others. Example: a wealthy person gives $1 to a homeless individual. Observers' interpretations reveal their own biases, not reality.
Sexual guilt, often rooted in childhood trauma.
Open discussions about fears, fantasies foster mutual understanding. Persistent relationship issues often stem from unresolved fundamental patterns we've explored.
It's your victim mentality making you feel powerless, avoiding self-responsibility.
This mentality gets reinforced by deep fears, family loyalty, and sacrificial patterns.
Identifying these traps and breaking victim beliefs is key to resolving relationship issues.
This is the essence of introspection. Focus on self-correction, not blaming others. As we dismantle these traps, we realize we built the victim prison and can dismantle it through mutual understanding. Ask, what would I do with full self-accountability? Do these issues feel familiar? What emotions do they awaken? Am I willing to fully experience these feelings? If I loved myself, what action would I take now? Introspection reveals relationships aren't about needs, but soul connection.
Relationships help us discover true selves and build soul-level bonds,
Ultimately reaching the revelation phase. Relationships' fourth stage. Psychology principle. Awareness solves half the problem.
Behind conflicts lies our need for love. This is the ultimate revelation.
What should we do then? During power struggles, ask, do I want love or conflict? Take a deep breath.
Imagine harmony. Maybe cooking a warm dinner together instead. At that moment, you position yourself within love.
How would you perceive your wife if viewing her as your beloved?
You might discover her grace and kindness during conflict-free moments, allowing love to flourish. The action required: call your wife and say, I love you. Love needs conscious nurturing. The fastest way to obtain love is to acknowledge existing love in your life.
Enduring transformation's pain strengthens belief in life's resilience. Relationships progress through phases. idealization, disillusionment, introspection. These struggles dispel love's illusions, revealing true selves and authentic needs.
Understanding love teaches unconditional acceptance, creating soul-level connections.
Having covered the book's content, let's summarize key insights. While pain is inevitable, we choose how to respond to it. Different relationship stages require different approaches. In Halo phase, release expectations and accept partners authentically. During disillusionment, recognize dysfunctional coping mechanisms. Understand childhood roots of pain rather than blaming partners.
Core issue: unmet childhood needs for belonging and significance.
Introspection phase demands overcoming victim mentality, traps, avoiding traps like false dilemmas and family loyalty patterns.
Through self-accountability, build soul-connected partnerships. Acceptance of self and partner fosters spiritual bonding.
The bridge to souls. This concludes our interpretation. Find keynotes below. Until next time.